And by the way, quick aside, what did you think of analytics night with CJ and Dave on the telecast?
Do you want my real?
Yeah, I really do because I think we have a differing opinion.
Well, I mean, I have tried my best to, and I'm continuing to grasp analytics, and I see its place in baseball and in sports overall. And I think there is something to be said about, analytics and all that. But that being said, having to hear CJ Nitkowski put a sledgehammer to my head for 9 innings about it.
Yeah.
One of the most unlikable people on TV I have ever heard, CJ Nitkowski. I know he comes on, but I'm just saying,
you're not alone in that opinion.
He's very unlikable, and for him to come across, and that's all I heard for 9 innings, which ended up being about 4 hours. I'm glad it's one night and it's done.
Yeah, it's one night. I'm glad they did it because I feel like that baseball fans need to be spoon-fed a little bit of this stuff because it helps you understand a few things a little bit better. I think, one full-bore night of it was good. I don't know if you'd want to see this in every broadcast. I don't know if you could pepper stuff like this in. I think you probably could, and it'd be a little bit more digestible. I think one night of it, especially a game like this where the Rangers just got the bottom fell out and
their tees
it was
ripped off.
4 hours. I think the patience was wearing thin. I think the patience was wearing thin within the broadcast booth tonight, to be quite honest with you. I think they were a little beaten by it because they might have bitten off a little bit more than they can chew. But I'm glad they talked about, weighted stats. I'm glad they talked about, just the whole litany of things they went over. They tried to get to everything, which I think, makes maybe your common baseball fans head swim. But I read articles like this. I listen to podcasts that talks about that. So I'm glad that they at least made the attempt to bring that to the masses.
Yeah, they could have done it in a way where you cut back on it a little bit because it was just so much. It just seemed like it was a never-ending waterfall of statistics and next level statistics where you're
at least give them credit though. As much as listening to CJ prattle for 4 hours really wears on you, at least he was giving you some useful information in how to digest some of these numbers if you ever do come across them.
Yeah,
I will give him credit for that.
And again, I've done my best as an old man and watching baseball that it's not just about batting average and ERA and the very basic statistics that we grew up with, for years and years and years. That it's much different now. And,
grown people don't want to learn new things, and that's part of life.
So just trying to grasp that. I am, and I'm coming around, and I see the point of the stats, and I've talked to you about it, and just how it's a better. It shows better.
It helps arguments.
Yeah, it does. It helps arguments, and it shows you a better. It's better at showing where players actually rank in certain ways than the old statistics.
Certain strengths, certain weaknesses.
Yes, right.
We think of Manny Machado being a great defender, and he's a great third baseman. But we had a P1 last night tweet us just some defensive metrics about how he's one of the worst shortstops defensively this year, and that stuff. You take that in, you go, oh, okay, you have to look at that because he's now playing shortstop for the Dodgers. But anyway, I just wanted to get your take on that. But just a terrible night, man. Rangers lose 13-10.
When's Cookie Talk night?
They're not bringing back Cookie Talk anytime soon.
Damn it.
Sorry about that. But let's keep talking about this, and we'll hear from Jeff Bannister and what he had to say after this loss. We'll talk about a big trade today in baseball. We'll have a farm report and maybe a few more calls. We're going to go past midnight.